You know how they say don't shoot the messenger? I think that really does apply here. I don't think the goal should have counted. I think Makar had possession. If you asked Makar in that moment, he would have said he had possession too. But in this video, I'm going to be explaining why Cale Makar's goal last night against the Edmonton Oilers at the end of the first period, making it 3-2, counted. If you were to ask me to interpret the rule of offside and say, hey, Lego, it's your choice, does this goal count or does it not count? I would have said it doesn't count, but the NHL saw it differently, and I want to explain that way to you here. Now, we'll talk about why I didn't make a video immediately after the game was over, and semantics and possession and memes and stuff at the end of the video, but for now, let's just focus on everything that happened in Game 1 of yesterday's smoking of the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, I shouldn't say smoking, it was 7-6 at one point, with a chance for Edmonton to tie it. But either way, at the end of the first period, after the slew of goals that we had, 2 goals each side, an Evander Kane breakaway, a JT Compher goal on the 2-on-1, Nathan MacKinnon forcing a breakaway himself, Zach Hyman on a rebound. The Hyman goal came with 22 seconds left in the first period, and the ensuing faceoff was won by the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers defenseman takes the puck off the draw into the Oilers zone, looking ahead. Because he's creeping into his own zone, you have Valeri Nichushkin as the forechecking Colorado forward. The defenseman, Darnell Nurse, then chips the puck off the boards and out, trying to find the teammate at the Toyota advertisement sign. However, that teammate does not take it. It's instead picked up by Cale Makar, who walks right into the zone on the backhand. He has the puck on his backhand and he's pushing it forward as he crosses the line. He then pulls it to the forehand, grips it, rips it, and snipes it, and then it's 3-2. Colorado with about, 13 seconds left, whatever it was. But Kailer Yamamoto on the play is calling for an offside, and the Oilers then challenge. The video review then shows that when Cale Makar pushed the puck over the blue line, you had Valeri Nichushkin, who was way offside right before he was able to tag up because he forechecked in deep trying to get the puck from Darnell Nurse. However, even though this was the angle we saw, everybody's like, yeah, okay, the puck is in to the Edmonton zone before Nichushkin tags up. We're like, yeah, that's going to be an offside. Even the commentators are like, yeah, that's going to be an offside. We'd be surprised if this goal was not reinstated, and eventually, it was. The way the referee said it on the microphone, he was like, after the play, it was determined that the play was onside, and it was like kind of funny. The way he intentionally baited everybody into thinking it was going to be a bad goal, but no, it's a good goal. And a lot of people went out there and said, why? It's clearly on Makar's stick, he has possession, and the puck is in the zone before Nichushkin tags up. What's up with this NHL? Now again, I'm the bearer of bad news here. I'm just the messenger. This is why they said it was okay, and why they revealed it as a good goal. I don't think this should be the rule, but this is how it went down. Elliot Friedman on the broadcast said that the explanation that he heard from NHL video coaches and everything was that they deemed Cale Makar to not have possession when he crossed the line. They said, hey, he had possession beforehand, he had possession after, but not during the second he crossed the blue line. The reason for that is because if you take a look at the footage, he had the puck on his backhand and he pushed it forward a few milliseconds before crossing that blue line. They say that he has possession when he's pushing the puck forward, but the second the puck goes over the blue line, I know it looks like from this angle that it actually is still on his stick, but if you go over to the other angle that they showcase from the Oilers bench, the second the puck actually crosses the blue line, Cale Makar's stick is not on the puck. Even from the angle behind the Oilers net, you can see the same thing, that the puck is technically not touching Cale Makar's stick as it crosses the blue line. Because this is the rule, the officials on the ice deemed that Cale Makar in this split-second moment did not have possession of the puck. The reason being is because the puck is not attached to his stick, it was kind of airborne. If you if you slow motion it a little bit forward and you take a look at the next moment that Cale Makar makes contact with the puck, Valeri Nichushkin is already tagged up, and he's tagged up properly too. There's a good few frames from behind the Oilers net camera that showcase Valeri Nichushkin getting back on side before Cale Makar's backhand side of the blade re-contacts the puck. They deem this to be onside. And I think the main camera angle that they were showing from the main broadcast view, where it was zoomed in, kind of misled everybody, because from this angle it does look like the puck is contacting Makar's stick, but no, if you look at it from behind the net, if you look at it from behind the Oilers bench, this is not a puck that Cale Makar has that is touching his stick. Now, was Cale Makar intentionally thinking, okay, I'm going to shovel this puck forward, and I'm going to not touch it as it crosses the blue line, I'm going to let Nichushkin tag up, and then I'm going to touch it back because that's going to be onside? He's not thinking that. He's thinking himself the entire way through, I have the puck, I'm going to rush it, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to score. I can guarantee you that's what Cale Makar was thinking 1,000,000% as he crosses the blue line. However, when it comes to the way this offside is implemented, sure, in the rulebook this does count based off of the current layout of how they formatted everything, but come on. When you take a look at the spirit of the offside and what it's supposed to mean, in my opinion, this kind of goal shouldn't count. But the reason why I'm a lot more easy on it and I'm a lot more receptive to the idea of it counting is because the Vancouver Canucks had a goal count against them that was a similar type of thing. 2 years ago against the Boston Bruins, we had ourselves another play that was similar to this, where the Boston Bruins guy was bringing the puck back in after some of his teammates were still in the zone, and as he crossed the blue line, he did not make contact with the puck as it was going over the line. Like, he deked, he had a little bit of a backhand to forehand type of moment wherein he did not have his stick on the puck as the puck was physically crossing that blue line. The next moment, when this player touched the puck in the Canucks zone, the player that was offside was already back onside. And so, even though in the initial camera view where it was like, okay, yeah, the puck is entering the zone before the player was able to tag up, that should be offside, the referees deeming it back then, 2 years ago, hey, the puck carrier technically does not have the puck on his stick, quote-unquote, because it's free out there on the ice. It's an explanation that I don't like, but it's one that makes sense to me because I've seen it before. That's what I mean when I say that even though I personally don't think that goal should have counted in the spirit of the offside rule, the fact is, it did. And when it comes to a game where the Oilers had to claw back, again, they were down by a significant margin. What was it, like 7-3 or whatever it was before McDavid scored? Like, it was crazy. And then they score 3 more to get it 7-6, and then eventually the empty netter goes in. I didn't make a video about the game yesterday because I was playing floor hockey at one of the local high schools in my town because there's a league that goes on over there. I had a goal and 4 assists in my game yesterday, and I feel really good about that because I think that's probably the highest scoring game I've ever had, aside from the 4-goal game I've had before. But that was 4 points, 5 is better than 4. But either way, that game started at like 7:30 my time here in Vancouver. So by the time I had already made it there and we were already suiting up, the third period was almost over, and so by the time everything wrapped up at 9:20, 9:30-ish, I was like, yeah, okay, it's already been a few hours, and I have to take a shower and review everything. I gotta watch all the footage, watch all the goals, see how the Colorado Avalanche scored 8 on the Oilers and Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. It's kind of wild how this game was so reminiscent of the Calgary Oilers Game 1 because of the huge amount of goals that were scored. Hey, if you bet the under on this one, that's on you, buddy. I really don't know what to say if you think this game was going to go out there and have a small amount of goal scoring. Maybe save the under bet for Tampa, New York today, because that one's probably going to have a few less with the goaltending matchup they have. But either way, this was the video I wanted to make in the morning. I wanted to sleep off the Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche because my body was just so tired running around burning like 1,200 calories or whatever it was. But I just thought I'd take some time to explain the NHL's reasoning behind Cale Makar not being offside when he brought the puck in while Valeri Nichushkin was tagging up. I personally don't think this should be the way the rule is written, but this is how it is, and this is how the NHL sees it. Again, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just explaining how it is. I personally don't see it this way, but the NHL does, so there you go. That's the explanation. If you're going to go out there and say, oh, Legger, you didn't need to make a video about this. Hey, we made a video about this same topic 2 years ago when the Boston Bruins scored in the Canucks. We talked about the exact same thing back then, and I was as frustrated with that rule then as I am today. It's just now, this came in a dire moment in the end of the first period where it was a very back-and-forth battle between two teams and two superstars that the entire hockey world had their eyes on. So there's a much bigger stage for this type of problem to present itself and manifest. So I think this video was a lot more in-depth than Elliot Friedman's like little 1-minute explanation he had. Talk to me in the comments about your thoughts about this idea and why this goal was called off, or excuse me, called on. Does it make a little bit more sense now that we talked about it here? If it does, let me know in the comments. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.